first reading today is taken from a few verses in chapters 63 and 64 of the prophet Isaiah. Isaiah is someone you'll hear a lot about during Advent. Among all the prophets, he's the one who speaks most clearly to Israel's desire to receive a Messiah. Isaiah was writing in a particularly difficult place and time, which on the surface can seem very different to Sunderland in 2020. Fundamentally, however, Isaiah is talking about deep human longings and desires and how God reaches out to people who call upon him. In that sense, there isn't an awful lot of difference between the people of Isaiah's day and our own. His message can still speak to us if we listen to it. Oh, that you would tear open the heavens and come down, so that the mountains would quake at your presence. How many times have you pleaded with God to intervene in your life or in the life of a loved one in a dramatic and powerful way? Perhaps you've prayed for healing from an incurable disease. Perhaps you've prayed for help because of a financial disaster, perhaps trouble at work or trouble with the law. When we find ourselves in dire situations, it's only natural to want to reach out to a higher power, to God, and to ask him to save us. The people in Isaiah's time were pleading for deliverance from powerful and aggressive neighbours who were threatening the country with war. But I think we all know what it feels like to be overwhelmed by events we cannot control, over which we have no power, and in which it sometimes seems we have no means of escape. But Isaiah doesn't stop with just expressing those feelings. At the end of the reading, after speaking about all the difficulties he finds himself in, he states, "Yet, O Lord, you are our Father. We are the clay, and you are the potter. We are the work of your hand." Isaiah tells us God isn't distant and indifferent to us and our troubles. He's a loving Father who cares intimately for each of us and reaches out to us to help us find the way to safety, the way to him. Of course, the way he does that most clearly is through sending his Son, Jesus Christ, who is the way, the truth, and the life. There's also that beautiful image of the potter and the clay. God is as close to us as a potter is to his clay. He shaped and moulded each and every one of us and each and every part of us. We're not an accident, and we're not deficient or broken or second class in any way. Every one of us has been made by a master craftsman, a loving Father who continues to look after the works of his hands. So keep on calling on God. Keep asking him to tear open the heavens and come down, because in Advent we learn that God does hear our prayers and he answers them by sending us his Son. God bless.